So blocking, is there a distance from the net where a block touch is no longer a block? According to the rule book, there is not. The only distance that the rule book says is near the net. So it leaves it very much up to interpretation. And a blocking action is attempting to stop a ball coming into your playing zone. It's preventing a ball from coming into your playing zone. So some people, like you'll see Ricardo does this a lot. Avery Drost used to do it a lot. Brandy Wilkerson on the women's side, we've seen her block balls from nearly like half court, which is getting pretty borderline. But according to the rules, is that near? Now it's up to the ref. So you can step away from the net, jump, and try to swat at a ball, and it will be counted as a block. It needs to look like a blocking action, so you can't like jump and set it, or you can't like kind of take it back behind your head, do a 360 windmill dunk or anything like that. You still need to be actively trying to like throw it back into their court. But there's no specific distance. And one of the other funny rules that we get is like when you do step off like that, sometimes you step off the net and you try to reach real high to swat a block, and then somebody will spike down, right? And they'll hit like maybe your stomach or something. That actually counts as a block touch, meaning you can then play it again if the ball hits you. So if any part of your body is above the net during a blocking action, and you get hit in any part of your body, it's a block contact, meaning you can then play it. So if I somehow like jump to block and I'm maybe 3 or 4 feet away from the guy and he hits it so steep that it hits my foot, that's a block touch, which it's kind of one of those rare rules that doesn't happen frequently at all. But if some part of my body, any part of my body is above the plane of the net and I'm somehow trying to prevent the ball from coming over here, then it's a block touch and I can play that second ball. It's rare, but it's a fun one to know.
And so another blocking rule, while we were talking about the first contact being the first touch of the play, the only time that doesn't happen is if it's a joust. And what a joust is when, let's say Mark is on the other side of the net, I'm blocking Mark when he's hitting. Sometimes the sets drift tight and it gets to a point where we can touch the ball at the same time. Whenever there's a simultaneous contact with the attacker and the blocker, that is called a joust. And it doesn't take away a touch from the blocking side. Mm-hmm. So if there is a joust and Mark pushes the ball onto my side of the court and he wins the joust, then my team would still have 3 touches. So I could pass that ball up in the air, my partner could set me, and then I could attack. But it has to be a joust, or the contact has to be at the same time with the attacker and the blocker.
And for those of you out there, that a lot of people, myself included, will intentionally lose jousts in order to give themselves a free ball. I remember playing Phil on center court, and he's massive, right? And I'm like, I'm going up and he jousts on a tight ball, and I start pushing it, and I feel his hands wrap around the ball. And as I push away, he actually tosses the ball back to Nick, and he kind of threw his hands, and he said that like he lost the joust, but somehow it ended up in this perfect lofty free ball back to Nick. And he did it so deftly that I was just like in that moment before I landed, I was like, did he just take that and toss it back to Nick? And of course he didn't get called for it, but when he did that, I was like, this is just another level. When somebody has that sense to joust, and yeah, he loses, but actually because he's up so high and he's got so much control that he wraps his hand around the ball, then he gives it back to his partner and they get 3 more touches. I was like, damn, that's just 6'9", 40-inch vertical unfair.
And just seeing the game in slow motion, that's impressive. Like that is a situation where the game has slowed down for you so much that you can think of doing that in a point. That's incredible.